Alright, hello. Welcome to Star Fox 2, Expert 100%, world record as of March 9th, 2020. I am Waster. I played this, doing a little post-commentary. I had actually broken my headset a week prior before I started this. Star Fox 2 is now out on Switch. I recorded this on Switch. Didn't realize my splits were a little cut off. I will fix that next time I play on Switch. But here we go. For those of you who don't know, Star Fox 2 was first released on the SNES Classic a couple of years back. Just was released on Switch Online a couple of months ago. I do believe it's a little faster on Switch. Zeller disagrees. I think it cuts down on the loading a little bit. So anyway, here we go. Andros is back, launching an attack in Corneria. He occupies 3 planets on Expert and sends out 2 carriers or battleships or cannon betrayers. They're called all 3 of those things in the game. I prefer cannon betrayers because that's what they're called in the credits. And the cannon betrayers also send out fighter groups. It is all range mode, like in 64. Almost the entire game is in all range mode. We have the map, and that's where we can select where we go and what to engage next. The planets will launch missiles at Corneria, and the cannon betrayers will launch fighter groups. If the cannon betrayers are left for too long, they'll launch additional fighter groups and eventually head towards Corneria and fire a planet cannon that deals 50% damage. When Corneria reaches 100% damage, it's game over. Or if you die, it's game over. You're allowed to select 2 characters. If one of them dies, you can continue with the other. Here we are on the planet, Elodard, the only planet that is not in any other Star Fox game. It's only in Star Fox 2. That has a twin blaster just chilling. On this one, we have to disable these 4 generators so we can go inside the core. 100% means we pick up all of the pepper coins, which is that thing that I just picked up. Picking up a pepper coin will refill your health, and if you get all coins on a given difficulty, you can access the secret base, which has all of the power-ups, as well as a homing shot that was available in the Star Fox 2 beta. We're not going to get that, because that is only for New Game Plus categories, and it requires getting all the pepper coins. That's what 100% is for. Here we can fly through the fire, do a quick barrel roll. Flying through fire sets the R-Wing on fire and does damage over time. Doing a barrel roll will put the fire out, so you don't get the damage over time. It's nice. There is a switch that puts out that fire in the next room. We skip it here because it just takes too much time. Might as well just fly through. And we're going to get a pepper coin later anyway. You did just see the R-Wing transform into walker mode. The R-Wing can do that here first. Star Fox 2 or Star Fox 0 also has it. It was developed for this first. There was a wall popper in this room that needed to be killed for the coin to spawn. I threw a bomb, but I threw it too early. The wall popper was still on the wall and didn't kill him. Unfortunate that it was wasted. Wall poppers are on Elodard and Venom in Expert. All of the planets and cannon betrayers are different on Expert than they are on Hard, and they are again different on Normal, which gives this game a lot of replay value. Got a bomb drop, which is really, 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 really cool. Sorely needed on this. This game has 6 characters of 3 different styles. Fox and Falco are the same, Slippy and Peppy are the same, and the 2 newcomers, Miyu and Faye, are the same. Fox and Falco are the medium. They have medium movement speed, they have medium health, and they start with bombs. Slippy and Peppy are the slowest, but they have the most health, and they start with the hard item. Miyu and Faye are the fastest, but they have the least amount of health, and they start with the shield item. We are never going to use the hard or the shield, we are only going to be using bombs. We've taken out the core, we get to move on to a cannon betrayer. I believe they're called battleships on the map. Whatever. I have splits that say cannon betrayers, more like betrayed by cannons. Because in this screen where you're flying into the cannon betrayer, I'm never hit by those lasers. I've been hit probably twice, and I have played this game a lot. 90 attempts on Expert 100% alone. So the mini-map in the upper right is very, very, very helpful for most of this game. Here, it will tell you where the enemies spawn before they even appear up from the ground. It is possible to one-cycle this room, however, the two enemies that need to be killed for the door to open need to be, like, right behind each other. In a spawn such as this, there's no way that one cycle is happening. Additionally, when the R-Wing is in walker mode, their shots are powered up. You can see I was shooting plasma balls right there. That's a Twin Blaster Type B. That is more powerful than Twin Blaster Type A. This is the lasers. And that only happens in walker mode, unless you pick up a second Twin Blaster. And then they will be the plasma balls, Twin Blaster Type B, even in R-Wing mode, flight mode. And that is that cannon betrayer. There are 2 pepper coins on every planet, one on the surface and one in the core. And there's 1 pepper coin on every cannon betrayer. This one happened to be behind the core. And there are 3 pepper coins in Astropolis, the final level. And we will. That one is kind of special, but we'll get there later. So now that cannon betrayer will no longer spawn any fighter groups, and we get to move on to Venom. In expert mode, Andros selects 3 planets to occupy at the start, and then after those 3 are liberated, in the second wave he'll occupy the other 3. So all 6 planets are occupied at some point in expert mode, which 3 are random. A lot of the planets have mini-bosses, like Commentated here. I tend to blitz Commentated first, simply because he spawns those little creatures, and those little creatures tend to block shots that make him harder to kill if he's left to his own devices. He drops the switch that allows you to open up the core of the planet. Every planet has 3 items on it. Sometimes they're just free-ranging items, like the bombs on Eladard. Sometimes under platforms, like those Twin Blasters. And sometimes they are shield platforms that just regenerate the health. The pepper coin here, you need to stand on that mushroom to get it. The mushroom doesn't appear on the minimap, so I flew past it accidentally. But the pepper coin will always appear in front of you. It doesn't matter if you land on it facing north or south or east or west. The pepper coin will always be in front of you when the mushroom goes down, which is kind of nice. Here we have the other wall popper room. This time I don't throw a bomb while he's stuck on the wall still, so he is killed first try, which is nice. Wall poppers are probably the worst thing about this run, honestly. Especially the ones in the rooms in Venom and Eladard that are guarding the coins. Simply because they tend to go back into the walls after getting hit once. And if you don't have bombs, which is kind of difficult to route bombs into these planets, it can take up to 20 seconds to go. Now, coming up here, we will have more wall poppers. However, they are only out of a small section of wall, not a giant room here. It is possible to one-cycle each wall popper in R-Wing mode still, and that is the fastest way. That one didn't want to play nice, so that did get a 2-cycle in walker mode. Instead of taking a transformation time back into R-Wing, I just decided to keep going in walker, one-cycled that one-cycled that one as well. And then I still have to wait for that door to open, and in that time I managed to get to it, so no time really lost outside of that first transformation into walker mode. The cores tend to eat inputs. This whole game tends to eat inputs. The select button is the final boss. That's the button that transforms into walker mode and into R-Wing mode. You'll see later in this run that I tend to fly past things, and I'm hammering the select button. It just won't register. It gets a little frustrating. And especially in those core fights, it seems to be that the further back you're standing from them, the faster you can fire. Probably because of the graphic processing that is required to display the shiny core things. But also, as it fires, you can fire faster, as it's covered by its own shots. So here I switch to Faye. To get Faye's Twin Blaster, there are 3 free Twin Blasters in Expert mode. One on Eladard, one on Venom, one on Meteor. And it seems to be, the best seed seems to be all 3 of those in the same, in the first wave. I like to call this planet Meteor Casinopolis, or Casino Street, or Casino Night. Insert other Sonic Casino name here. Because of that, where you gotta shoot it and line up the O. It's difficult, especially when the game eats inputs like that. This one's a little easier. If you can fire 2 in succession, you'll nail it. The other one, you gotta time it, and sometimes the fire button just won't fire. Sometimes an enemy will fly and take your reticule away, take the focus away from what you're firing at, and then you won't hit it. It kind of sucks. If you're in walker mode here, you won't get set on fire, which is interesting. You don't have to barrel roll, because you can't barrel roll as a walker. And you may have noticed that I've been flying into a lot of walls without getting damaged. If you fly into a room boundary, you won't get damaged. If you fly into a wall that's not a room boundary, you will get damaged like I just did. And also, that was the first instance of a fake wall. You can tell it's fake because it doesn't show up on the minimap. The minimap is very, 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 very useful. This guy, sometimes he can one cycle. It is kind of rare, unfortunately. But 2 cycle isn't bad. Now, any enemy that isn't like a turret can drop health, which is what that guy dropped. And that dropped twin blasters. They can also drop twin blasters. They can drop any of the special weapons, shields, hearts, or bombs. Now, I have both characters with fully upgraded Twin Blasters, which is quite frankly amazing. That does require a Twin Blaster drop, and on this particular route that I am employing, that was really the only opportunity for Faye to get a Twin Blaster. It's really very, very neat that she did. Now, if you were to get, like, Twin Blaster Type B, which both of my characters now have. If I were to go to Eladard or Venom or Meteor that has the free Twin Blasters, they would be other random items. Speaking of items, I should probably talk about that for a minute. When you collect an item, a shield, a bomb, or a heart, the number of items that you have is increased by 1, and then it changes it to the item that you collected. So right now I have 2 bombs. If I were to collect a heart, I would have 3 hearts. Then if I were to collect a shield, I would have 4 shields. And if I were to collect another bomb, I would have 5 bombs. And this category in particular, in 100% categories, it is crucial to collect items just so you can have more bombs later. Got that pepper coin behind the fire bar because, hey, you can just fly right through it. Bombs are absolutely the best item to have. And there are just not enough of them. Especially this category. There's a free bomb on Eladard, Titania, Macbeth, and Fortuna. But that's not enough for what you need for this route to save time. So here we have a heart, here we have 2 hearts, and I'm going to collect both of them because I don't need another bomb until I move on to the second wave of planets. But then I will have, with the next bomb I collect, I will have 3 more bombs than I had. So here, these cores do die to 1 charge shot. However, with Twin Blaster Type B, it's almost faster just to hammer the fire button and let them die. The cannon betrayers do spout extra fighter groups if left to their own devices, and if left for too long, they will fly towards Corneria and use the planet cannon, which deals 50% damage to Corneria, and at 100%, it's game over. The 2 ways to lose this game are have Corneria hit 100% damage, or to lose both of your playable characters. The thing that just spawned from Astropolis that I ran into is called the Brain Spoiler. It will infect the planetary defense system, the rotating thing around Corneria, that will fire at missiles or fighter groups. And then, if it is infected, it will fire on Corneria, causing a lot of damage. Missiles can cause variable amounts of damage, anywhere between 5% and 20%, depending on how many missiles are in the missile group. And then fighter groups will just circle around Corneria and drop bombs on it continuously. So now we're in wave 2. We have Titania, Macbeth, and Fortuna. And because I had moved the predecessor of the Great Fox over to Fortuna, it got thrown back to Corneria because Fortuna was occupied. So we're going to start with Macbeth. And we're starting with Miu and Macbeth because we get to fight Alki, who in Star Fox 64 was localized as Andrew. All of Starwolf was first developed for Star Fox 2. Now normally, we like to throw a bomb as the first thing you do against any of the Starwolf crew. They do barrel rolls, and they can deflect bombs by barrel rolling. However, as soon as the fight starts, if you throw a bomb, they will not. You have probably a 5-second window to throw a bomb. However, I don't have any bombs. I didn't think about that this time, so we gotta do it the old-fashioned way. Not the best fight. Of note is I am completely empty on health. All of those little orbs are red. It doesn't matter what your health is, and what attack you have been hit with. If you are hit with an attack that would kill you, and if you have any health left at all, you'll be left with 0 health, and you have 1 chance. To die, you need to get hit while your health is completely empty. So I went straight for the coin to refill health, and now I don't die. This platform sucks. This is a very, very difficult platform to land on. It is constantly rotating around, but we got it. And this planet has a heart under an item platform that I can stand on to raise and grab, and it has bombs in the lower left corner. So we're going to grab the heart, increment the counter, and fly over and get the bombs. There is a tractor effect on the cores. If you fly just in front of the opening, it will activate the cutscene. I just like to call that tractoring in. And also, anytime you fly into the core of a planet, the base of a planet, I guess I should call it, that was inputs being in, it automatically transforms into walker mode, which kind of sucks. The only time you really want to transform into walker mode automatically is on the boss fight, on the core fight. So this is Night Knack. He is in both normal and... he's not a normal. He is in both hard and expert. And he's kind of a pain. You can stand inside a shield and just hammer away. However, the game will eat your inputs, and you will just keep taking damage from the shield. So sometimes you can't do that, depending on how many inputs the game is eating. Here we have another fake wall with the pepper coin behind it. Any curved wall in this game tends to be fake. And if it's not a curved wall, then you can tell by the minimap that it's fake. So Macbeth and Fortuna have these has a cage around the core before you can attack it. And in the 4 corners, there are little weak points that you have to hit to lower the shield, and then you can attack the core. I just turn around and throw a bomb against the wall. Throwing a bomb against a wall makes it explode quicker than just throwing it and then trying to activate it. And then that destroys all 4 corners, so you could proceed on. You might notice that my splits are kind of all over the place. Because this game randomly decides what planets are in Wave 1, I do things in a different order every time. It's kind of a fly by the seat of your pants routing, which I think is really, really, really neat. Dear Eve Leon, and I have bombs, so I just open with that, and there you go. Once Corneria is over 80% damage, it will constantly show you its status in the upper left, flashing. It's kind of irritating, but... Also, the music quickened. That wasn't the best fight, but it also wasn't bad. So now we have Titania. Titania has a bomb and a heart. So we can fly and get the heart container and then the bomb. Or, because I just have enough bombs with Faye, skip the bomb and skip the heart. Now this is the only planet on the only difficulty where you push anything with the R-Wing. And that took me a good 40 minutes to figure out casually. Because again, each planet is different on each difficulty. Titania is different on Expert than it is on Hard, and it's different on Normal than it is on Hard or Expert. And it's only on Expert, and it's only on Titania, where you gotta push anything. This particular thing, you have to be running at high speed to push over. The walker will pick up pace after a couple of seconds and walk faster. And if you're not running at that higher speed, you won't knock it over. That took forever to figure out. And then you did see me jump over the button, and I had to go back. Alright, and here we have Tal Kong. He is my favorite sub-boss. He's a total pushover. But first, we have this fake wall that has a shield platform for whatever reason, and a pepper coin. Pepper coin already restores all of your health. I don't know why they have a shield platform. The pepper coins are, once collected, permanently collected. You do have to erase all of your data to reset the pepper coins. So it does make sense to have that shield platform there. Tal Kong melts if you hit him from the back and just hammer at him. And he may have dropped a bomb. I don't know. I don't need that bomb with Faye. A lot of expert mode is just managing your bombs. On normal mode, you start with either Miu or Faye or Fox or... Yeah. Either Miu or Faye and Fox or Falco. Because Fox and Falco start with 3 bombs, and then you can just use those bombs in the run. On Expert, that's not worth it. There are more bombs that you can collect, so I might as well just do it that way and have the faster speed. Alright, now we're flying all the way over to Fortuna, and we see that brain spoiler spawned, second brain spoiler. The planetary defense platform does have to be infected at some point. There is a coin there on Expert. It's not there on Hard or Normal. Brain spoilers don't even spawn in Normal. Honestly, I believe that Normal should be called Easy or Training, and then Hard should be Normal, and Expert should be Hard. But that's just me. Pigma down, and in we go to Fortuna. On normal mode, it should be noted, only 2 planets are selected, and Macbeth and Fortuna cannot be. On hard mode, 3 planets of the 6 are selected, and on expert, you get all 6. Now, Fortuna here, we find out that the R-Wing can swim. And there's the heart that I missed a little bit, so let's swim back into it. Increment that counter, there we go. Can't fly underwater, but can swim. Swimming is just done with the jump button. Queen Diarrhea can be hit from above water, and then she comes up above water, and then you can just pelt her. For a long time, I swam towards her and then hit her underwater, and then flew up until I found out that, hey, you can hit her from above water. Flying out of bounds here to collect this pepper coin. This is the only planet with a pepper coin that is out of bounds. The level does wrap. If you fly west, you will eventually go back inbounds from the east, and your partner will yell at you, what are you doing? And hard mode as well on Fortuna, the pepper coin is out of bounds in the northwest corner, outside the northwest corner. Swimming does have a significant amount of inertia to it. You can swim pretty quickly, almost as fast as you can fly, which is really cool. That's way faster than walking. However, with the tractor effect going into the base on the planet, you have to be standing on the ground. If you're not standing on the ground, you will just float down, and it takes a bunch of time, a couple of seconds. So it is better to walk in. Here we have Kit Gunner. Kit Gunner is awful. He can jump from pool to pool, and it can take forever for him to come out. I was very fortunate here in that he came out on the first cycle. Probably could have saved some time by flying over to him, by boosting and then transforming and hammering at him. But he also dropped a bomb, which is fantastic! More bombs is better. But first we have to go get the pepper coin. If he does not jump out, I always take a look. And if he just jumps from pool to pool, I will go get the pepper coin and then come back. He is vulnerable to bombs while he is underwater, which is real nice. But it does take, I believe, 4 bombs to kill him. And we need a bomb here to take out these 4 corners and drop the shield and continue on. So I only use the bombs if absolutely necessary. I used to drop a bomb as soon as I spawned in, and I found that it's not really worth it. Maybe if he jumps pool to pool, but otherwise, no. On hard mode, there are only 2 pools in there, and he jumps out much more frequently. So this is where on my splits you can definitely tell that my gold splits are like crazy, because every route is different. Every game is different. This is where we're going to let the brain spoiler infect the platform, and we cannot let it shoot Corneria because I believe it does 15%, maybe 20% damage, and that would be game over. So you gotta fly in there after it's infected, but before it fires on Corneria. As you saw in my previous brain spoiler fight, there are 3 of them, and because I did not attack them at all, there are 3 on the platform. So we take care of the one outside and the one in the center, grab the coin, and then there's one on the inside as well, that I always save for last because the coin's also on the inside. This makes a lot of sense from a routing perspective. Alright, and now that the map is clear, we are in for the last wave. The last 2 cannon betrayers that each spawn fighter groups. If cannon betrayers are left to their own devices and they spawn fighter groups, they spawn 2 each, which is basically a run killer. Here we have the spinners. The spinners is the worst. The absolute worst fighter group you can encounter. They take forever to kill. They teleport all over the place. They're invulnerable for large periods of time. And they're very hard to keep track of. I just spent another bomb. I spent 2 bombs in this fighter group already. Usually I only use 1, because it's the spinners. I would like to know that I got the spinners. I wasted 2 bombs so far in this run. And I still beat the previous world record by 19 seconds. And there's also one point later where I could press RNG, and I still beat it by 19 seconds. The previous record did have one section of like 10 seconds thereabouts of dead time. However, this is what leads me to believe that the Switch is just a little faster in loading times. The fact that this run happened and got it by that much. I did leave the other fighter group on the map for the planetary defense platform to take care of. Hopefully it'll take care of it while I'm inside this cannon betrayer. I don't actually remember if that happened. That way it'll save it from... Oh, there it is. Good. That way I don't have to pause and watch the animation of the defense platform firing. Now this cannon betrayer is particularly interesting. There's the pepper coin. You look on the mini-map, you see the 3 red dots, gotta destroy all of them. There's the 4th one. Throw a bomb when the 4th one spawns, the door will open. Otherwise, you have to open up all of these doors, get to those turrets, destroy each individual turret. Whereas if you just break, throw a bomb at the right time, you're in. The last 2 cannon betrayers are different. They're not just the 4 spikes. You gotta shoot that thing, and then shoot the 4 spikes that come up, and eventually they will go back down. Thankfully, I one-cycled this one. These are rather difficult to do. The guys that pop up out of the pools like to steal the focus of the reticules, so you can't hit the spikes. It sucks. These cannon betrayers are much more difficult than their predecessors. But that's probably by design. This is the final wave. Oh, there it's called a carrier. On the map, I think it's called the battleship. And in the credits, it's called the cannon betrayer. You mangy cur. I do like the localization of this. You got Hjorg earlier. I'm going back to the mothership. And I'm switching to Miu because Miu had 0 health left. Going back to the mothership and teleporting restores all health. You don't actually need to... Oh, it is called the carrier. It's not called the battleship. Never mind. You don't actually need to teleport to restore health. Just going back to the mothership at all will do it. However, traveling by mothership is a lot faster than flying all the way across the map. So that was kind of like a 2-in-1 deal. This is my favorite cannon betrayer in the game because this first wall is opened up by this wall popper, which I two-cycled, unfortunately. So you destroy the wall popper, wall comes up, and then this next wall is opened up by the switch that's behind that ramp. You would expect it just to be another wall popper, fly up to it, you're thinking, why doesn't this work? There's the switch. I would also note that each cannon betrayer is different on each difficulty, which is also very nice. Normal mode only has 2 cannon betrayers, hard has 4, and expert also has 4. These guys are not killable with a bomb, which is unfortunate. Bombs probably do weaken them, but at this point it's not worth using. The bombs are better used other places, especially with Twin Blaster Type B. In the beta version of this game, you could fly through a corner of that wall and clip through the wall into the core, so you didn't have to fight any of them. I miss some of the beta stuff. Alright, here we're just going to skip everything by throwing a bomb. Expose the spikes, throw a bomb, done. Much, much, much easier. And that's that. The map is clear. Andross's forces have been routed. Now it's time to get serious. To quote X from Mega Man X4. Alright, we got Hunter Fantron and Mirage Dragon flying out. At this point in the game, on normal mode, Mirage Dragon always flies out. On hard mode, it is one of 4 creatures. Mirage Dragon, Hunter Fantron, Tektron, or Space Blade. And on Expert, you get 2 of the 4. Space Blade is a run killer. Space Blade is awful. I have been practicing Space Blade a lot. It is still the slowest. But now I don't die to it at all, which is great. Hunter Fantron is one of the best. I like Hunter Fantron the most because he has this really cool attack where he extends his arms and he tries to grab you. And if you're not hitting the retro rockets, he will grab you. It's really, really cool. But also, he stays in one place, so you can kill him. Mirage Dragon is by far the easiest. And I switched to Fae for a very particular reason. Now, on normal, you can kill Mirage Dragon with a time of 0.0. On Expert, 0.2 is really the best that I've gotten. But Mirage Dragon is by far the easiest. Tektron is the second worst because he teleports around a lot and it's kind of hard to track. Space Blade is the absolute worst because of how defensive it is and how he flies around. It's just awful. Alright, now that those 2 are done, and I got the 2 ones that I wanted, we fight Starwolf. Starwolf is the biggest pushover if you come prepared. And you come prepared with 2 bombs. Any fight that happens in the asteroid belt has asteroids that will damage you, which I think is really, really cool. And this just happened to be an asteroid belt, so here, let's have an asteroid to the face that doesn't hurt because we're in a cutscene. Wolf sucks as a fight, but if you bring 2 bombs, that's just it. Alright, and now, Gwarg! We are going into Astropolis, the final level, orbiting the sun. The binary star system, in fact. Now, in the beta, you could switch characters while you were in flight to Astropolis. You can't do that anymore, which kind of sucks. But in 100%, that doesn't matter, because in 100%, we have to collect all the coins. Astropolis has 2 different paths. There's a left path and a right path. But once you select a path, the door behind you seals shut. And there's a coin on each path. So, here's what we do. Going with Fae. I choose Fae for this mission because Miu has the extra bombs for the final fight, which I like to do because cats are objectively better than dogs. So, bring Miu in. She's a lynx. Faye's a dog. And here we go. The pepper coin is right behind this door. Door opens up. We need to kill it. We're going to make sure we don't die in the process, but we're not going to collect that health either. Doors open. And this is the only glitch that I have found in Star Fox 2 Final Release. Wait around to get hit, because I need empty shields. There we go. Fly on in. Run into the wall. And there's the coin. That I like to call the death grab. I discovered that, well, almost a year ago now. But that was one of the first executions on Switch, and I believe that's the first recorded execution on a Switch. Pepper coins refill your health. However, if an R-Wing is already exploding in the death animation, the pepper coin won't refill your health. Otherwise, you collect the pepper coin and you gotta continue running into that wall and die so you can play as your wingman and fly in and take the other route. That saves a good 30 seconds. And any expert 100% run that's going to be competitive needs to do that. Also, it's the only glitch that we've discovered so far. It's really cool. Do it. And it saves a replay. If you are playing this to just unlock the secret base, playing it to unlock everything in the game, it saves an entire playthrough of the expert difficulty. Astropolis is the only level that shares a layout between all of the difficulties. The things in the room change. This room, for example, is just in normal mode. It is just a button in the middle. Hard mode. I don't even remember what it is in hard. On expert mode is the rotating button. That's harder to hit. Got a fake wall for the second to last pepper coin. And we're just flying through everything because I don't care about my health. There's one more pepper coin that we're going to grab, and that's going to refill everything before the final battle. And we're going to miss that door. Ouch. Wall poppers. Throw a bomb. There's the coin. In this game, to move efficiently, you almost always want to be either firing retro rockets to turn or boosting when you're not turning. Here's our second bomb. Normally when a core shield lowers, you gotta wait for it to activate. That is not true for this. Throw a bomb, get rid of all those spikes, and that cube is vulnerable instantly. This is the only instance of that happening, but it does happen on all difficulties. And here we go. Some Star Fox 1 music to go into the final fight. Will we weep now? On normal mode, this is the only form of Andross. He can teleport, and that's random, and it's a time waster, and it's awful. The last record had 2 teleports, which we are already at 2. And... I had 2 there. I thought I had 3. Whoops. This is phase 2. This would be the end of hard mode, with the shroud. And this is phase 3. This is the end of expert mode. Throw a bomb, get rid of the hands. The first phase takes the same amount of hits to get through, regardless of your blaster level. Twin blaster type B, type A laser, doesn't matter. Time. Time ends when the target ticks down from 1 to 0. The second phase is not so. 2 charge shots will take that out, or it takes a lot more shots of uncharged to get rid of. Without the bomb, you do have to destroy each hand before the face is vulnerable, and then it'll fly past you, and then you gotta turn around. It's just much easier with the bomb. And that's that. Astropolis is destroyed.
Star Fox. It was a team effort. What's a mission? Adios, Andross. Let's head back to Corneria.
I don't understand what all of those voiceovers said, but I think they're neat. Now everyone's flying back into the predecessor of the Great Fox. Minus Faye. Faye did not make it. And I like to see this through to the credits, just to prove that I got 20 coins. I started from a fresh file with 0 coins collected on any difficulty. Expert mode, this is of note, the ending enemies are different on each difficulty, which is kind of neat. But expert mode in this game is unlocked by clearing hard mode without letting Corneria take any damage. So to unlock expert mode with 0 coins collected, I had to do that, also avoiding every coin, without collecting any of them for health. So that's actually kind of a fun run. It's not too difficult. I wouldn't mind trying to do that on expert, honestly. Just to see how I can do. The spinners, the absolute worst random encounter you can get from the normal game, outside of Space Blade, of course. This run had the spinners, and it is still the world record. That's amazing. Metal Boomerang also isn't that nice, however it's nowhere near as bad as the spinners. The little ones around it can be destroyed by a bomb, and then the center one doesn't teleport around. It's very easy to fix on. There's the worst enemy in the game. Gotta hit all of those flashing sections. And when you get down to it, it gets more difficult to hit. Overall, this is my favorite category, because you can play a little riskier with it than normal, because the pepper coins heal your health. But you also don't get the power-ups of New Game Plus. Whereas in New Game, you play a little more conservatively. You don't have to route around the coins. And then in New Game Plus, you're just overpowered. You have the homing shot. You don't have to play as strategically. Now, of note, is, in the scoring screen, when a character gets a star ranking above A, they will start the game with Twin Blasters. Faye, even though she is dead, because she was used in this run, will start the next game with Twin Blasters. And if all characters have star ranking, starting with Twin Blasters, the character selection music turns to the Corneria theme from Star Fox 1, which I think is really neat. But anyway, that's the record. Move on. There's the 20 coins. There's the proof that I collected all 20 in one run to qualify for 100%. And as of now, that is the world record. Thanks for watching.